everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel, Chaos to Calm Budgets. This is my channel where I am documenting our debt payoff journey. We are trying to get out of £76,000 of debt. So we are doing that through cash stuffing, budgeting, making sure that we are keeping on track with everything and being quite, I would say strict with ourselves, but just trying to make sure that we are holding ourselves accountable while still enjoying our life. I hope everyone is okay. We have just reached the Easter holidays, so we are off to Paris. Well, we're going down to London today and then off to Paris tomorrow. So I'm quickly getting this in. I'm hoping to get it edited and uploaded before I go. So we will just crack on. I have completely wiped out March. In terms of I wasn't on top of it. We did overspend. It was a bit of a struggle. We've managed to make it work though. I'm not overly worried, but we are starting afresh, and this is why I love the beginning of months, because you just get to kind of put that aside. We just got to try and concentrate on the here and now. We can't change what's happened and what we've done before, so let's just focus on trying to do better this month. So we are setting up for April, and I've set out some goals and things to focus on. So I want to make sure that I'm reviewing our budget and spends every week. I've had to reduce the food shop down to £500 this month. The reason being that to try and fit a budget around everything else, I'm going to challenge ourselves so that we can meet our budget on everything else and keep £500 on a food shop. So we'll see how we get on with that. I need to catch up on my £1 challenge and make sure that we are up to date with that. And I also want to make sure that I'm setting trackers for any upcoming payments or events. So I've planning to do a 40th birthday party. Yes, this is my year of just everything 40th, a bucket list year or whatever. I want a 40th birthday party, so I'm doing it because I am an adult and I get to choose these things. But yeah, this was a very, very odd year in terms of the amount of things that we've committed to. But we only turn 40 once, so let's just go for it and see where we go. But I always want to make sure that we are making sure that we're budgeting for those and we're not relying on sort of debt or anything like that to finance all of that. So I've set out essentially all of our bills here, and we've with all of our budget as well in terms of our short, medium and long term spends. The £100 for the kids savings, that totals 2,525. That added into the rest of our bills that will be going out equates to £6,414.93. So we're slightly over by pennies in terms of what we've got coming in. So we've got my wage, Mr. B's wage, the child benefit, my son's DLA money, and Netflix payback, which is my mother and father-in-law's contribution to our Netflix, because we do pay the higher rate so we get more screens and whatnot. I'm sure we're not the only people that do that. I know it's a bit cheeky, but whilst Netflix haven't done anything to kind of circumvent that little thing, then you know we'll just go with it for now. And we can do that. So nothing obviously I've written down for spends. I have been spending some money. As you can see, I've had my nails done already, so I won't be cash stuffing for those because I've already spent the cash, but we will do everything else, so that's fine. So we will put that to one side. In terms of just kind of laying out all of our budget, so I've got the £500 for food, £80 for fuel, and then I've calculated £500 for fun, and that's broken down into my husband and my little man are going to Alton Towers while we're away in Paris, so we've put £50 aside for them to be able to just have some spending money. They are staying overnight. It was a little bit of a deal that we bought into, so those who haven't watched my previous videos, they've bought an overnight stay at Splash Landings, which was the cheaper hotel, but with that they got Merlin passes for the whole year as the add-on, and so we upped the hotel stay for 4 people, even though it's only my husband and my son going, so that we've then got all Merlin passes. I think it was an extra £100 for 2 extra Merlin passes to add to that, so that worked out, you know, cheeky little hack there really. And yeah, so we're going to try and rinse those over the next 12 months because we are fairly local to Alton Towers. We are based in the Midlands. but there are other Merlin attractions, particularly down in London, that we want to go and try and do. So we're going to try and focus on that over the summer. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. I put in an extra £50 for Paris spending money. I do have some money already in our savings folders for travel spending, so that will just contribute towards that. And then I put an extra £300 for Switzerland as well, for that. So what I might do is actually put £350 rather than put that into fun. I'll put that into travel spends actually and keep it into one pot there. So let me just make a little note of that. So actually it's not going to be, I'm going to put that into split, so 350 for spending and then 150 for everything else for this month. So that's Alton Towers. I put £30 in for Easter eggs for this year. I don't know if that's going to be enough or not, but we tend to buy an Easter egg each for all of our nieces and nephews, just a standard one, nothing major. And then obviously just a few. We get a big egg each for my son and daughter. And then just like extra bits of chocolate, any mini eggs and that sort of thing. And then I've just put an extra £30 there for Easter activities, because it being the Easter holidays, just for any additional kind of things that we do as well. I've put that, so that adds up to all of the 150. That doesn't make sense, does it? So I put £500, and if I add all of that in, that's 300, 400, 460. So I don't know where I've got 500 from. Just put that in brackets there. Either way, it'll be handy to have the extra there, I think, because it being the Easter holidays, a couple of trips away, we'll add it there. I obviously haven't done my sums properly. I'd rather have too much than not enough. So we are where we are. Right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to stuff these envelopes with where money is going everywhere, and then we are going to make sure, because as you will see on previous videos, I have done the whole borrowing from Peter to pay Paul thing, where I've had expenses in one category and didn't have enough money, but I've come fund it from a different category and then owe it back just by spreading it out that way. So that's what I've done for now, and then I just need to make sure that if I've got some money in those envelopes now, I can start paying those other pots back. So that's where it is. I do placeholders, because we did the whole cash thing, but it was just a lot of taking out cash and then pay it back in again to pay off other things. So I'm using placeholders. I use my Monzo pots. I did change our bank account. We are now transferred to Monzo, and we get all the additional extra add-ons to all of that, because I've maxed my personal account with Monzo as well. So we've got lots of coverage and things like that. It works for us. I do say if you are going to do it, just check to see whether it is actually worthwhile for you for that, because you don't want to be paying for insurances that you don't actually need or you don't think is worth it. So yeah, that's where we're up to, but I did do it, so that's a check off the list in terms of the goals that I wanted to set. So let's get stuff in. Start off with our short term. We start off with football, which is going to have £100. He should have 4 sessions at £25 each for this month, so we will add that in to this. And then what we do is we pay by bank transfer every week when he does those sessions. And that's why we add in his DLA money into our expenditures, because actually a lot of his activities come out anyway from that. And we are also saving for his private assessment as well. So guides, my daughter Audie, she didn't need the tuck money that was in there from the last couple of weeks, so, and she's only got 2 sessions left, 2 sessions in April, shall I say, of guides. So it's £2 already there that I've kept, and then I need £15 for her trip for the April payment. I've already paid March's, so I'm going to put in 20 because I don't have a £5 note for now, and that's been just taken out of the bank account. So I will make sure that I just know if I'm £5 short in the bank account, because these ATMs, they don't, unless I go to the post office, they don't give out fivers, do they, these days? Not many. I think we had one where I lived for a while, but then I'm not sure that does it anymore either. So either way, It's £5, we can make that work. So I've ticked off that, so that's ready to pay when we need to pay it. For food, we are doing our £500, so I'm going to do 2 and a 3 there. There we go. That's £500 going into there. I budgeted £80 to go into fuel. However, I don't think we're going to need it, because with me being away, my hubby has my car, which is electric, and he's off for most of this week as well, because he's taken a couple of days leave to have with my son. But what we'll do is we will put it in there anyway, because it might be handy to have for the pound challenge. So 20, 40, 60 and 80 can go there. Go. And then our fun budget, yeah, I put 460 there, so I did recalculate it to 460. I hadn't done my sums properly there, so that would make sense. So I am on track with that. So let's put in 300 there, then we'll put in 400, and then we will do 60 in 20s, I think. So 20, 40, 60. I did say that I was going to separate that out, so hold that thought. Let me just remind myself how I was going to separate that out. So I'm going to put 350 actually into the holiday spends instead, and then I was going to put 150, let's do that, into this one. So I'm going to keep that 350 to one side so I can put it into my holiday spends. And 150 into there. I wonder what you've all got booked for your, have you got anything planned? Are you just having some family time for this? We've got a long Easter weekend coming up. So that'll be good to do. Right, this is for hair, so this is medium term, so this is where the as and when ones that aren't sort of the daily spends that we go into. I've already got 60 already in there. Normally I would put 80, but my husband and son have already gone for their haircut, which is £30. That was yesterday, so I'm going to put 50 in now for that. So 20, 30, 40, 50, that's the rest of that cash there. So I've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100, 110 for when I have my hair done, which it shouldn't be, it hasn't been that much for a while, because I've had a big chop and I don't have as many foils and colouring and things like that in my hair these days. So there should be some surplus there, which will be good. So I did budget £40 for my nails. It costs £39. I had to have a soak off, and then I've gone for biab rather than acrylic there. I can't have my natural nail, they just aren't strong enough no matter what I do or whatever for supplements and things like that. So it works for me, and we're just going to keep going with that. But yeah, I went for biab and this pretty lilac-y colouring this time, but I have a pound change. I am going to pop it into the folder. No, I'm not. I'm going to pop it into my little dish of spare change, because it sometimes comes in handy there towards my pound challenge or anything else. £50 is going into house maintenance. So we do want to, I'm trying to get this to build up a little bit, although I think I owe some of this money into other pots. But the main idea is I want to get some new pots and pans. We're desperate for some new pots and pans, and I want to get some new bedding as well for all of us. We are a bit short. I could do with sort of 2 sets each, so that one could be washed while the other one goes on, that sort of thing. And the ones that we've got, particularly our ones for me and my husband, are kind of falling apart a little bit, so I want to start thinking about that and getting some new bedding for that. So we'll keep building that one up. But my hubby also wants to get, so my son, bless him, a good few years ago when we went to Disneyland Florida, it was an amazing trip. We had a wonderful time and I really would like to go back again, but yeah, we're not putting that on the radar anytime soon, but yeah, it's on the wish list somewhere in the future. But my little man, we gave each of the kids a bit of a treat each, and my little man's treat was to go and build his own lightsaber. It was an amazing experience. We've got a beautiful video of him doing it, but we had a little stand that goes on the wall, and it's broke essentially, so we need to get a new display holder stand thing that goes on the wall for that. So my husband's going to probably spend a bit of money on that this time. I'm putting £30 into beauty, and this is for hair and beauty, skin, skincare, makeup, anything for the hair. I have had to buy some scrub, hair scrub. It does help myself and my daughter's scalps, so that has spent some more there already, but not all of it, so that will come out of next week's in next week's video. You'll be able to see that. £50 in for clothes. I don't anticipate us needing any, although we are starting to change the seasons. My daughter's had a bit of a clear out of her wardrobe, so we may need to start topping up on a few things soon, so hopefully we'll leave that to build up for a bit. £50 in birthdays and occasions. I'm not sure if we've got any this month. I think we might have some anniversaries coming up. We'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, £50 in there ready to go. And then family fun. I've not put anything in family fun this time, again just to help balance the budget. We'll stick to the budget that we've got. This was just designed for, you know, a cheeky takeaway or coffee out if we're out and about, that sort of thing, just having that little bit of extra money there if we needed it. And again, for miscellaneous, I put £0 in there, and that's just for any sort of overspends or spill, but we're going to work really hard to try and keep on budget this month, so that's that one. And then finally, these are kind of the long-term spends. We've got our pound challenge going up. Hopefully I'll work out what week we should be on and then get that moved down. I've just realised I've missed a week there. It should be there 43. I've gone all the way along there. Anyways, we'll look at that in a minute. Right, car maintenance, £50 is going into this one. So that's standard. We let this build up, and this will pay for a service and an MOT and any, hopefully, non-repairs, but just in case we do need any repairs on my husband's car, that's building up there. My car is a lease car through work, so that's all included in what I already pay out of my wage, so that works out well. I'm building up on this one, so it's another £20 to go into my phone repair. I've got a broken screen. I want a genuine screen repair, which is going to cost about £280, I think. So I've got, I think, how much I've got, 20, 40, 60, 80 in there at the moment. So we'll keep leaving that to build up. The function of the phone is fine. It's just an aesthetic thing really for me. I didn't put anything in for spending money because I included that in the fun money. But I will put this 350 into here for our spends. So that's 350. And then what did we have here as well? I might condense this down. It says 210, so I've got 560 then. So I'm going to change that. Have I got a 500 here? No, I don't think I do. No, so I'll have to keep that for 500. And then what do I have here? Yeah, let's put a 50 there, and then a 10. So we've condensed that down a bit. It would probably all be spent on my travels this month. So we're off to Switzerland in a few weeks as well for a long weekend. That's a bit of a bougie, ladies only, mum's trip. So 300, 500, 550, 560. Hopefully that will be enough. Holiday, it's only £20 that we need to put in this one. This is for our 2026 holiday, 2 weeks. We're off to Cornwall for a big family holiday, so quite looking forward to that. So I needed £20 and 69. I've just put 20 in because I will find the 69 if I absolutely need to. So we need to have the 2,900 in there, but as you can see, I owe from other pots into this one, so I need to make sure that I focus on that for ready for when. I think it's due about June time, so we haven't got long. So I've got 1,500, 700, 750, 760, £1,765 there, and then I need to be putting in the £20. And then let's see what I can do to condense if I can. Don't think I can actually. Not at the moment. No, that's fine. So let's pop that away in there. Because what we'll do is we'll be going through and seeing if we can pay back from other pots as we go. Right, anniversary is £100 to go into there. This is for mine and my husband's trip to Barcelona this year. We try and go away for our anniversary now, and we've kind of stretched ourselves to look at little city breaks abroad. We try and travel quite cheaply when we do it, so we won't book in luggage or anything. We'll travel just with a backpack and things like that. So it worked really well for Italy, for Rome last year. So so I've now put I'm going to start putting 280 into the 40th birthday trip, because we have finished paying for the our main holiday to Cornwall, so I need to start building on this one now. So it's 280 to go into here. 250, 60, 70 and 80. I do wonder if I can condense. So I do have an IOU there. So 500, 600, 700, 800. So I could do that, yeah. So let's get that 300 there. Put these ones back. 100 and 100 there. Then we've got, yeah, we could do a 50. So we'll put 50 down and put 50 back. And then 20 there. There we go. We've condensed that down. I'll probably be doing it again when I start adding in money. So 500 and 800, 850, 820. There we go. I think we need about 3,500 for this one. It's going to be quite a big stretch, but we've got until towards the end of the year to pay that, so that's not too bad. £100 for Christmas. Yeah, 100 just to go into there. And we've got then 100, 250, 275, but we do owe money from the pound challenge, so what I'll do is I'll probably go back to front in terms of what we owe from where. 200 going into my son's DLA fund. This is to help towards paying for a private assessment, because the normal waiting list is ridiculous. If you know, you know. 500, 750, 775. Again, we do owe some money in there. We need about 2,000 for that. So leave that to build up. £100 to go into subscriptions. This is to pay for things like insurances or things that we pay up front for the year. So we'll leave that to build up. But again, I think I probably owe from that pot in other ones. And then £100 into the emergency. And that is that's everything. We've got very little in the emergency at the moment, but I do owe. So I'm going to go back to front and see if I can even out these pockets. So for here, 175 owed from the anniversary trip. So let's see if I can move that then. That's 40th anniversary. Yeah, so the £100 I put in there is going to go into the emergency. Can't condense at all. Nope. So that's that one. I'm going to put in here. Oh, yeah, that's it. So I need to move from anniversary £100. This is so I can do it from the pots to the emergency. Should be fairly straightforward. I can tick take that off. So what I'll do is I'll cross it out and then put it down here, £75 from anniversary. And then the next one is going to be the subscriptions, so 165 owed. And I think I've just put 100 in there, so that'll be another 100 to go into the emergency fund. Then £15 from household, which is in my medium turn. I've put 50 in there for now, so I'll take that out, household. So that'll be 35 to go back into there. On the 5, perfect. And that one could be completely cleared off. Then £95 from, no, £95 from the pound challenge, that's at the front. Yep, there's 100 in there, so I'll take 100 and then put a 5 back in. In fact, I'll put a 10 because there's 2 5s in there. There we go. I'll be adding to that in a bit anyway. So I can take that off there completely. Yep, and then the last but not least, no, that's it, that's all I can do because I've done all the others, so that's fine. So at the moment then I should have back in my emergency account 100, 200, 300, 320, 330, 340. Let's change that into 220s. I condense as we go. 345 then, I believe. We've still got a bit more to owe. Right, so we've got that sorted. Next IOUs, let's go back to front. Nothing in subscriptions. Then this one is my little man's DLA. So what do I owe? 165 from subscriptions I don't have, and 150 from miscellaneous, which we're waiting for Top Cashback to pay out on, and my husband's little game thing that he does where he gets some money from that. So we'll leave that one for now. And then I owe on, this is from Christmas. This is for Christmas budget. What do I owe in here? 175 from the pound challenge, which we're not there yet, so we'll leave that one for now. Then on our 40th birthday trip, I owe, I think it said 55. Yeah, 55 from the anniversary trip. I think that's because I paid for the airport parking. That would be what that one is. So anniversary trip, I've got nothing in there for now, so that's going to have to stay for now. Fine, nothing in there. Then our holiday trip, what can we pay to this? I don't think we've got much more left that we can pull from. Yeah, again, miscellaneous, waiting for Top Cashback to come through. And then the pound challenge, that's all I can, and subscriptions as well down here. So yeah, I know that I don't have anything in those pots yet, so we'll have to leave that for now until we build those back up. Then nothing in travel spending, that's fine. I think that's my phone repair, which is fine. And then this is car maintenance I owe from subscriptions again, I think, still. Yeah, 45, so that's fine. We'll leave that one for now, and I think that is it. The only thing I need to work out now is what do I owe in my pound challenge. So we should be, because I did start labelling what weeks we were on. Last month, yeah, so oh yeah, week 12, week 13 is there, and so we should be on the Friday, week 14. Let me just jot these in. I've got all of those, so we should be, because we are now we're not here yet. We are here really because we haven't got to that Friday yet. So we should be on week 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that'll be 12 and 13. So it's these two here, 43 and 39. So that's 82. I'm going to round that up to 85. So where can we pull the 85 from? So we'll leave that one for now. I'm going to go from the medium. I'm going to pull 10 from here, because I know I've only spent about 20 and I don't envisage that I'm going to need anything else for April for skincare. So 10 from there. So that's that one. Then I'm going to pull some money from clothes. I'm going to pull 20 from here and just leave us with 30. So we've got 55 still to go. Birthdays, I'm going to take 10 because I'm not sure. No, let's take 20. We'll leave ourselves with 30. So that's everything out of that one, and that leaves us with, I think, so we've got 85, I think it's 35 because we've got 50 there now, yeah. So in day to day, let's have a look. Nothing there. Food I'm going to leave because I've already reduced it anyway. I'm going to take it from fuel. So we've got 80 and I need 35, so 45 left. There we go, and that should be my 80 then. So let's just double check. 20, 85 should I say, 20, 40, 60, 70, 85, yeah. So yeah, 45 on fuel. That's going to be a tall order, but we will give it a go. Got to focus on this. So from fuel, £35 to £1 challenge. Perfect. And then this one, I'll colour these two in. Let's go for a nice, there we go. So let's add that in. We probably can condense it down. So let's have a look. 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 95. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 5. We'll put these ones away. Lovely. That goes in there. So that is everything for this week, guys. So all straight and narrow, all ready for the month. Got our goals. Some of it will be a bit tough, but we will stick to it. We'll see how we get on. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.